everybody? Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 128-123 loss to the LA Lakers. Riker, this one went right down to the wire. We had some wild plays. It went into overtime, some crazy stuff. So much for us to sink our teeth into. But before we dive into it, obviously, the title's a bit dramatic. We got this a little bit rocking, but this was a wild game to watch, Riker.
Yeah, smoke. Everybody wanted the smoke in this game. Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., LeBron James doing LeBron James things, Russell Westbrook reviving his career for one possession only, and it ended up being the dagger of this game, Ben. Dreadful as a fan of the Raptors, but as a fan of basketball, obviously a very exciting, fun game to watch.
Yeah, and we're going to rave about Scotty Barnes. We're going to rave about the guys on this squad that have been balling out. But Riker, I think we gotta switch up this podcast a little bit and get the segments going first, because the people came here to talk about the end of this game. Riker, tonight, the spicy Pele of the day. Now, Scotty had a bunch of plays. There was a bunch of moments in this one. But Gary Trent Jr. down the stretch of this game, putting us up 3 with an icy, drippy step back from 3. People are saying, I was watching with a few people, right, watching it. And then, oh, that's a bad shot. Swish. Swish bomb for Gary Trent Jr., the star boy, right? This is why you and I have been saying he could be a closer for this Toronto Raptors team. How are you feeling after that?
Have we been saying that he could be the Raptors' GOAT, Ben? Have we been saying that he could be one of the best to ever suit up for the Toronto Raptors with the confidence, the closing ability, the clutchness? Smoke, Ben.
Wanted the smoke. He was ready to go. And yes, tonight, looking, 23 points for Gary Trent Jr., 4 of 8 from the three-point line. Looked like, obviously, he had that 40-point game a few games back, but looking like the Gary Trent Jr. of old. And that's what we want to see, slumping a little bit. And Gary came out to play against the Lakers. But then the OG.
Pause. He's younger than me, which blew my mind. I guess I knew that, but I didn't know that until they said that he only turned 23 recently. He's younger than me. That's crazy. I just had to chime in there to say that. Blew my mind.
Already the Raptors GOAT, Riker, younger than you. How old is he? How old is he? Is he younger than me?
He just turned 23.
I still got the youth. I still got the chances to make the comeback, make it rockin'. We had a young guy closing the game for us and repping the OGs merch tonight. But the OGs play of the day. Going to a guy, phenomenal performance on this one from our rookie of the year. Just made a video on Scotty Barnes winning, should be rookie of the year. 31 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists. Gotta rave about this guy, but he made a play, and we talked about it in before these two late games, or I don't even know. The games have been so late, I don't know what actually has happened, but had a unfortunate moments down the stretch of the last couple games, couple turnovers and stuff happening, but yeah, it was the LA Clippers game. I talked about it in the Scotty Barnes video in the previous one. Making some tough decisions down the stretch in this one, and got the ball stripped from him by none other, Russell Westbrook, who has been absolutely raked through the coals from NBA fandom, NBA Reddit, through the entire media. He clanked a shot off the side of the backboard.
Undeserving.
Undeserving or deserving?
Deserving the hate, undeserving the play you're about to talk about, Ben.
Yeah, well, it's he clanked a shot off the side of the backboard, Riker, then comes back, gets the steal the next possession, hoists up a full sprint 3, and you knew when that went down, the momentum was going on the Lakers side. How are you feeling about that shot?
Yeah, that shot, absolutely gross. You're more happy if LeBron is the one to send it into overtime, especially he had the identical shot from that crazy buzzer beat over Bradley Beal, I believe, where he turned around, faded into the sideline out of bounds, and then banked in a 3. That was only a couple shots prior. A shot like that from LeBron, right, to send it into overtime, that would just be iconic. But Russell Westbrook, with the way that he struggled, and especially after just an absolute brick of a shot, the possession prior from the corner to come in and do the Raptors dirty, awful to see. Fun again for the excitement And there was like almost a half mix of Raptors fans and Lakers fans in this one. So the energy was high, but to hit that dagger and then bury the Raptors in overtime, not what you want to see when they're on such a close, tight race in the Eastern Conference leading into the playoffs.
Yep, it's tough, but honestly, I see the chat is frustrated. You and I aren't that down about this game because, we'd be more sad if the Raptors just came out and completely sold this game. We went out, lost to the Lakers, let them stomp us. We fought tooth and nail with the Lakers this entire game. We had, Siakam didn't really look like himself out there in his 46 minutes, right? Looked a little bit lethargic, even though he still had 17, 6, and 7, right? Fred VanVleet, down the stretch of this one, we'll talk about the clutch performances and all that, but still had 20 points in this game, right? At least we were fighting. There was a few bit of propaganda to get this game going, but we'll leave the Golden Kazoo later. I think that those are the two plays we want to bring up, but...
Hey, we can bring up the Scotty Barnes Award, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to swing it, because that's usually at the start of the podcast. Getting that drum roll going, because it's clearly got to go. The Scotty Barnes Award to none other than Scotty Barnes himself. 31 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists. I think I already said that stat line, plus 5 for the game. Looking elite out there. He took it personal that he was boinked down the rookie ladder, right? It's absolutely cheese. How you feeling about Scotty Barnes' performances outside of that final possession? Learning experience for Scotty Barnes. It is what it is.
Yeah, obviously you want to be a little bit stronger with the basketball, and it was kind of a broken play. I think they could have drawn up a little bit better kind of spacing because there was really no inbound pass, and it went to Precious, and he's double in the corner, and then Scotty Barnes is coming to his help. They're all clamped up there right near the out-of-bounds line, so I'm not going to put too much weight on that one play in particular. But Scotty Barnes is crazy because he carried the ball up the court for the entire fourth quarter. Fred VanVleet was giving him the ball, so he was the primary facilitator.
That's how we should be playing.
Yeah, and we've been saying that for a lot this season. And on top of that, he was doing the second thing that we've been saying he should do, which is spend more time in the paint, finish over smaller defenders, just jump up in the air and even finish over bigs. And that's what he was doing tonight. Didn't matter if Austin Reeves or Avery Bradley or LeBron James was on him. He was finishing in the post and in the paint everywhere. And he just looks like an absolute stud when he goes up there with that little push shot, kind of floater, runner, semi-jump shot, whatever you want to call it. It's not a hook because it's straight on, but he's just pushing the ball towards the rim, and man, he can make a living there.
Point Scotty Barnes, and that's something I want to bring up, Ryker. Him with the ball in his hands. Fred VanVleet has thrived the past couple of seasons playing alongside Kyle Lowry at that 2 position. Obviously, you and I at times have talked about, the 2 point guard lineup. We don't really like the micro ball, especially in the playoffs, because traps can happen and stuff, but Fred VanVleet thrived at the 2 guard position, but now you don't have the issue of having 2 small guys in the backcourt, even though they both held their own. They're both great defensively, because Scotty Barnes is a 6'8", 6'9", 6'7" point guard, right? So you don't really have those issues of micro ball, but you still have a facilitator. Fred VanVleet playing off him. Obviously, Fred VanVleet his stat line was great. 20 points, 7 assists, 4 steals in this game. Was I just tripping, Ryker, from my thoughts? He went 2 for 9 from the 3-point line. Sound off.
The shot didn't go down, right? But he had a couple of layups where he finished over around Gabriel and whoever the other bigs were. Probably no bigs. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe he just went around Gabriel twice. And then, of course, he got blocked there on the final possession there. But it was kind of a really bad write-up because we had 14 seconds left on the clock and we didn't get a shot up until 5 seconds left. And it wasn't even a 3, right? It was a layup. So there were, again, I'm not going to critique that one possession of the game. On a whole, the Raptors played pretty well tonight. Where they didn't play as well, getting stops, right? Because, of course, LeBron's going to score on you. But does Avery Bradley need to rein in shots from 3? Probably not. Does Austin Reeves need to be blowing past guys and hitting floaters in the lane? Definitely not. I'll say
Austin
that
Reeves
with confidence.
plus 18 for this game.
Right? So there was, I think it was both ends of the court that you could look at in this one, not just a couple of missed buckets down the stretch. But obviously you want to win in overtime, but you had the chance to win in regulation if you had to have just tightened things up in the final minutes of the fourth, man.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. We'll talk about the other starters too. I think I want to build off this point because off the bench, we did have a phenomenal performance from Precious Achiuwa. Precious, I don't even know what to call him at this point. The next
Play
Giannis,
the propaganda, man.
Bam Adebayo onto Antetokounmpo, everything.
We're
right?
gonna
Better
have to
than
add
Bam.
Curry into there.
Well,
Layer
that's what I'm
Curry
saying. We
somewhere.
gotta add Steph in there because you look at it, only 3 for 8 from the 3-point line, but those threes felt drippy, Riker. They felt milky, knocking down those. I brought the milk up at the perfect time.
Shoot.
I
Caught
timed
in
it
4D.
perfectly, but
Wait, what is it? Caught in 4K.
caught in 4K with the milky threes from Precious Achiuwa, but the rest of the bench struggled immensely, right? Boucher, 6 points. Thaddy Young, right? He struggled, but what'd you see from Precious tonight? Because he is becoming an elite guy for the squad.
Precious game, Ben. This one, you said it. I can't capture the emotions of those 3 threes that he hit. Electrifying, right? And his confidence was super high. And the other play that we could have pointed towards in the Spicy Pele was he had this really wild fadeaway bank shot, similar to the one that LeBron hit, just in a smaller scale because he was he was inside the 3-point line. But it was crazy. It was a hope and a prayer, and he did it. It's just he's playing at a high level of confidence. That's the difference. Beginning of the season, he was missing all the bunnies, and then he's putting up wild shots, and he looks defeated out there. Now he looks like unlimited confidence, unlimited range. It's surprising because his shot form isn't amazing. Like, it's kind of broken too. There's a bit of a hitch in it, and one foot is a little bit more forward than the other. But listen, corner threes, whatever. I'm not even disappointed if I see him shooting it up. All of our bigs have the green light, so I love what I'm seeing from him recently.
Yeah. Precious elite. This is what we traded for. This is why Masai Ujiri wanted this guy coming in. Why we passed up on Hero. Why we passed up on Maxey, because Precious Achiuwa is our guy. So it's looking good at least tonight. But that's what we like to see. But we do need some more out of Thaddeus Young. Boucher didn't get that many minutes in this one. Nick Nurse ran the starters hard. He really wanted this win. What's up? What's up, Prabha? Don't spam. Got the hello going. But Birch played well. We talked about Gary Trent Jr. Do you want to speak on any other players before we, I guess, give the Golden Kazoo and get off the rails a little bit?
Let's give the Golden Kazoo, because that's kind of my concluding thoughts of this one. Goes together with the Golden Kazoo.
Yeah. Okay. Let's kazoo it, and if the spam keeps coming, then I gotta quiet spam. What's this? Put user in timeout. I think that's how that goes. Okay. I don't know how this stuff works. We need our Marcel moderator back. But tonight, the one, the only, the Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo Award of the evening, of the night. Riker, you got one? Sound off on it.
Yeah, like I was saving this till the end because I wanted to be optimistic on the good points of this game, and that was Scotty Barnes' performance, a couple of our clutch shots, the fun of this game, having a full capacity arena, playing against the Lakers, LeBron having a good game, all of those things, positives, right? But the big negative that you can't just ignore is the fact that we're tied with Cleveland. This would bring us out of the play-in and into sixth. And we're playing against an extremely undersized Lakers team that we whomped in the last time that we played against them only 2-3 days ago. And this is the second worst record in the entire NBA since the All-Star break. This team sucks. There's no two ways around it. They have LeBron, sure, but they are the second worst team in the NBA. And it's because of their size. It's because of their defense. It's because of their three-point shooting. And they did pretty good in all of those things tonight. So when the Raptors are trying to make a serious push and say that we're going to be competitive in the playoffs, you can't be losing these games, Ben. And we can't really let that slide, despite this being a fun game with a lot of positive takeaways.
Well, the thing about it is LeBron James, 36, 9, and 7, he can do that. And he came out motivated. He came out ready to go. It is what it is. Not flaming the Raptors for that. Russell Westbrook even, I know he's been struggling. I know he's been trash lately, been absolutely desecrated. Like, people have been hating on this guy so much because he's been playing so bad. He can do this. He can do this. A triple-double tonight, played a solid performance. Those two guys, you get it. Austin Reeves, a guy in the first matchup, we literally sent him to the shadow realm. He couldn't get on the court because Scotty Barnes, every time, bringing back the Chris Smoove takes, the whoever offense. That's what we were doing to Austin Reeves in that first game, right? For him to be plus 18 in this game, 10 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, as you said, chopping up the defense, floaters and shots and all that, That's unacceptable, right? Well, Wendon Gabriel went. What even? How do you even pronounce? What is it? Weldon.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
I think that was it the first time.
Right. Gabriel, 17 points in this game. Can't let that happen. Right. Avery Bradley, even 14 points. Just slow rotations to these guys. You can't. That's laziness. That's sloppiness. We got to come out with more energy, and we're a defensive focused team.
Slow rotations, especially when I thought that the Raptors were playing pretty good man-to-man on LeBron for the most of the night, right? And then they'd throw pretty, like you said, lazy doubles and leave Avery Bradley wide open.
Yep.
And I'd say probably 9 of his 14 points came in the closing 5 minutes of the fourth and the overtime. So it's just stuff like that that's a little bit frustrating to watch when they played an otherwise pretty good game.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we got a super chat coming in from Paul Blunt saying absolute rubbish. Paul Blunt.
Rubbish.
Definitely hurt my soul.
Bloody
Russell Westbrook. We can't say that. He hit his shot tonight. But the fans, you see the video of the fan going up to him prior to the game or talking some smack?
Jersey Drake?
Toronto man. Drake's got the Kawhi braids now. He's out here doing his thing. I know,
he's looking weird. He's all tanned. He just got back from Turks and Caicos.
Hey, Turks and Caicos.
Jack Harlow.
So. Shout out Al, but I think it's time to get off the rails a bit. See what people have to say in the chat about this game.
Sir.
Woo 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 woo. That's right. The final alarm has sounded. We want to hear what you guys have to say about this game. What's your thoughts on a fun, what is it, Friday night, St. Patty's Day weekend? Raptors didn't have the luck. Russell Westbrook did have the luck. And as is tradition, get a little like spike going. Got 200 people in this chat. See what people are saying about this game. Get the likes rocking. But people are questioning. I don't know what the schedule is particularly, but I know we have the Sixers coming up, Riker. Should we be worried about Embiid and Harden? Because that's going to be a big game with
Should we be worried about the best team since the All-Star break? Yes, they are looking like the favorites to come. Yeah, they're looking like the favorites to come out of the East right now. Oh, them and the Suns are the two best records since All-Star break.
What about the Mavericks? The Celtics? Two of those guys, they've been good.
The Mavericks might be up there. Celtics, I think they dropped 2 of the last 10. So let me double check. Let me fact check myself, shall I?
Paul Blunt saying he could smell Drake's cologne from his seats. You know, Drizzy Drake is out there rocking. You know, but as you find out that. But not even mad. We just won 4 in a row. That's what I'm saying, Devin. And we have a future.
Dallas, Phoenix, Philly, and Milwaukee. The usual suspects.
Yeah, Dallas. They are nasty with Spencer Dinwiddie. I didn't expect it. I flamed them for trading away Mr. Kristaps Stinky Pinky Tingus. But they're looking good. You see those game winners back to back?
Oh, I've seen them.
I converted you. You're a Dallas Mavericks guy like myself.
I wasn't as critical of Spencer Dinwiddie himself, right? I just thought it was an odd trade, but
Bertans
I still thought Spencer Dinwiddie could. Yeah, the Bertans didn't make sense, and the value just in general for Kristaps Porzingis, but it is what it is.
Without a doubt. But William is in the chat saying, should have taken the foul as soon as Westbrook stole it from Scotty. That would have definitely been the play, because Westbrook probably would have bricked those free throws too. We were up 3, but it's all a learning experience. All a learning experience for Scotty. He's going to get those under his belt. He's only a young guy putting in 30 bombs.
That's a good point to bring up, actually. I mean, it's a cheese ball way to win a game, but rather than let a team sink a 3 to bring it into overtime or even have the ability to win, right? Yeah. Foul. Why not? Because worst happens, they hit 2, and then you're in the exact same situation. You got to inbound it.
Even
you
foul him on the 3. He's not making 3 free throws. Just
that's true.
Just hack him.
Just run at him.
Hack him.
Boom. Give him the shoulder. Boom.
A little clothesline. Take out the Westbrook. No, we're not encouraging some attacks on Westbrook, but if it gets you the win, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I got a big scratch on my chest. I was playing some basketball tonight, Riker. Playing some scrims. I was guarding the bigs. The bigs were killing us. My small frame can get in there in the paint, be aggressive. I got gashed straight across the chest. So I look like I was attacked by a lion when I
listen. Speaking of our ever looming game of 1v1s, I've put on about 10 pounds in the last
That's tough. That's
3
tough.
months. So, and I know you're getting in more into cardio.
I'm in
so
the cardio side of things, sir.
it's going to be a challenge for you to defend in the paint.
Hey, I play bully ball. I play bully ball. Even if I don't got the weight, I play bully ball. I get down there. Get low. Center of gravity.
Play psychological bully ball.
That's what Ryker, your shot's looking a couple inches to the left, sir. You just got to tweak that form a little bit. I'd be elite coaching of trash talk for NBA players. Raptors, hire me. I'd get right inside the head of Westbrook and whoever. But that's what people are saying. Take the foul. People are agreeing. Take the foul. Jeffrey's saying we could use OG for sure, but LA were missing their second best player. The LA Lakers? Who are they missing? Anthony Day to Davis?
Anthony Day to Davis.
Is he their second best player?
See his shenanigans, his comments that the Suns knew they would have lost the series if he was healthy?
Silliness. Chris Paul was out for that more of that series than Anthony Davis.
I just hate the Lakers, man.
I like LeBron, but I don't like the Lakers. But I always end up cheering for them. Just how it goes. It's a weird dynamic I have with LeBron James. But Paul Blunt's saying Precious fault on that game. Precious did have some nice defensive stops at the end of this one. So, he's balling out.
He was looking legit, man. He was looking legit.
Man, I love me some Precious Achiuwa. But don't miss all the free throws, and then don't have to worry about Westbrook. Yeah, that Siakam. Was it Siakam free throw? Was it in overtime?
Yeah, he missed one free throw. He split, but
yeah, that was
whatever.
I don't know. Siakam ever since the playoffs, I think he probably, I'm picturing like Siakam at the free throw line. You watched That's So Raven as a kiddo, Riker?
What?
That's So Raven, the chick that would like get visions and stuff.
Okay.
In the playoffs,
flashbacks.
Pascal, goes back to that moment where he was in the clutch and bricked 2 of those free throws down the clutch. I think we end up winning the game, but I feel like he goes back to that moment just in clutch situations from the free throw line, and he never makes 2 of his free throws during.
See, I have a friend that loves to criticize NBA players for getting paid so much and having low percentages on free throws, right? Free shots, uncontested. But I don't criticize as much because I've never shot 10 for 10 free throws in my life. Like I'm just not a good free throw.
You never shot 10 for you got that icy midi. How are you not shooting 10 for 10 from
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I might have shot 9 for 10 once, but
you never had those like
the pressure always bakes me. It always gets me.
Drills?
Right when I'm about to get there, I just get too stressed out. So
no, my record's 27 free throws in a row.
Jeez.
So. But I'm streaky, so that's just how it goes, But Scotty Butterfingers Barnes, Butter Riker.
That's a tough criticism when he had a otherwise good game.
Yeah, that's tough. I see what you're saying though, Chris. It is what it is. Who do you want to face in the first round? That's what we got. Jeffrey saying.
That's a good question.
I want the Bulls. I want the Bulls for the storylines. I want the Bulls because they're struggling a little bit. I think it'd be just like a really, really nice series. And Vucevic, we're inside his head.
Yeah, Bulls. I wouldn't even hate having the Heat. I mean, obviously we'd need to slip the 8th.
Yeah.
But I'd rather play the Heat in the first round than the Bucks or the 76ers.
Well, the one thing, Riker, I'm saying, if we do go into the play-in, right? Now I need to double check on the draft pick situation, how it all works out. But I don't mind those top teams in the Eastern Conference. I don't mind the Bucks. I don't mind the Heat in the first round. I probably would want to avoid the 76ers just personally. Harden scares me even though he struggles in the playoffs at times, and Embiid is just a big guy that I don't know we'd be able to stop. Might be able to with some schemes and all that, but in a 7-game series, Doc Rivers, I know he likes to get flamed as coach, but people love to flame him as a coach, but he's a guy that does do adjustments and can make maneuvers within a series. So I think it's
different. It's different too when we're double and tripling him in the post last season and Ben Simmons is on the team versus we're double and tripling this season and Tyrese Maxey can now hit the shot consistently
James
and Harden's on the team. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's Harris doesn't scare me, but yeah.
I think we're going in the same direction here to say 2 most feared teams in the East. 76ers, Celtics.
Boston Celtics, yep.
Yeah.
I do not want to play the Celtics.
No,
As
I don't
much
want
as
to see
I
them.
love to trash on the Celtics, all that sort of stuff, and as fun as that series would be, and you and I both would pick the Raptors, I'd assume, right? We think we'd get the W, but my heart can't take a Celtic series. My heart can't take a 7 games, everything down to the wire. I would absolutely just crumble under that series.
I don't care if they're on a 10-game win streak or a 20-game lose streak,
Yeah.
Ben. They are the Raptors' kryptonite. They always pull it together. They love to see the Raptors. It's always close, right? Or it's not close. Sometimes it's we win by 20, they win by 20. But it is unbearable to watch those games when you hate to lose against the Celtics.
It's stressful. Like, it's stress-inducing, our games versus the Celtics. So give me the Bucks. Give me the Heat. And what I'm saying, right? Obviously, the Nets are tough in the play-ins, and then you have the Hawks, the Hornets down there. Right, one game, anything can happen. But I have to double check the rules. But
you have to lose 2 games.
Yeah, if we are in the play-in, right? If that's how it all shakes out, more likely to play one of those upper tier teams. Obviously, I don't want to go through the situation on playoffs first. But if we do end up lower down and we get knocked out, I think our first round pick comes back. So there's like a consolation prize with all of that, how all of it will work out. So this season, I'm not going to be depressed if anything happens, but obviously I want us to get that 6th seed. I want us to get that 4th seed, but it's a tough thing happening. I want the Bulls, Ryker.
So I'm thinking right now, Philly and Milwaukee are so close. Yeah, actually, the top 3 is pretty close, but I just wouldn't want to play Philly.
Yeah.
And that's what 6 is playing, right? And we'd like to be 6, but I'd rather avoid 6 if that's going to be the matchup. So that's a long-winded answer, but I don't want to see 76ers or Boston in the first round.
It would be nice to beat Boston, though. It would be nice to beat Boston. And
I don't see the Raptors slipping to 8th in the regular season.
Yeah. Well,
so I think we're going to finish probably 6th or 7th, which means we'd have to, if we finish 7th.
Top 4.
Okay, if we finish 7th, we'd have to lose 4 games in a row in order to miss the playoffs altogether, which that's not going to happen, surely.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the play-in, honestly, I saw people flame in the play-in. I love the play-in because right now at this point in the season, Ryker, you and I would be, we love the games and all that. But we're like, oh, we're going to be a lower seed playoff team. We don't care if we're 8th. We don't care if we're this, like we'll get the top 3 teams with the exception of the Sixers, obviously, but we don't care who we play against. It's more matchup based. But right now, we're hustling, we're grinding to just stay afloat. So regardless of how it shakes out, regardless if we get our hearts broken, Russell Westbrooks of the world end up ruining our lives, Ryker, it's exciting. It's entertainment.
How often are you excited down the closing stretch of the season?
Never.
For 7th seed, right?
Yeah.
I love the play-in. I love the play-in too. And plus because now it's like Atlanta and Charlotte are still in the mix.
Yep.
Right? And they're arguably 2 decent teams still, even though their records
The Hawks
are...
made the conference finals last year, Ryker.
Yeah.
The Hornets got Terry Rozier, who is leading me to a fantasy league championship this year. Ryker.
I mean, I'd even advocate for shorter series, right? Instead of 7 games, right? Maybe in early playoffs, you go 3 game or something. I'm just spitballing.
That'd be too much. That would be too much. I wouldn't be able to handle that. But that's Evil's saying he wants to see another Raptor Celtics series. Clearly, he has his blood pressure managed. He's got his nerves in check. I'm dropping my phone on the floor, so I can't hear you, Ryker. Do you agree with Evil? As I grab my phone.
No. Ben, it's St. Patty's Eve or the eve after St. Patty's. It might be time to bid the adieu.
Give the adieu. Throwing out the words for Wordle, Ryker. That's a good starting word for Wordle. Adieu.
What's that?
You play Wordle.
No. What was the word?
Adieu. A-D-I-E-U. Get all the vowels in there. Get all that stuff for rocking. But you guys are the best for making this fire. Check out the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter, all of that cool stuff. Lots of fun stuff coming. Lots of few things. Ryker, I gotta watch the stream back. But the new Wi-Fi, it's looking like it's been solid. No complaints. No stuff. So, I don't know. It's Crispy might be able to do some more crazy stuff on the streams with the juicier Wi-Fi. So finally got that fixed. But Riker, do you have any last words on this Toronto Raptors heartbreaking loss to the LA Lakers?
I'll just say, merci beaucoup. Grazie bambino. Ciao. Konnichiwa. Cheers.